And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said, Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed enters doors. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. And now, Introduce Everything proudly presents 16erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 16erella. 16erella had 7 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Sophia, Isabella, Xavier, Tina, Eliza, Eloisa, and Nina. Some of them constantly made fun of 16erella and made her do all the chores. 16er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Sophia to Nina. One day, the king of Sexton-Cuppingham's messenger arrived and said, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Sexton-Cuplingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Sexton-Coupling. But 16erella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They then argue over who will marry Prince Sexton-Coupling. Later, Prince 16erella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Sexton-Coupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks 16erella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, 16erella? In which 16erella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Sexton-Coupling, but I have lots of chores to be done. 16erella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. She chants the magic words. Sexty-dittity, sexty-dontity, sexto, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 16erella chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet, she said. 16erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some ice. Luckily, 16erella has 16 pumpkins and 32 mice. 16erella's fairy godmother chants the magic words. Sexty-dittity, sexty-dontity, sexto, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 16 pumpkins into a handsome coach. The 32 mice into horses, and then 16erella's ripped clothes into a gown and crown. 16erella said, I've never seen such a Sexton-Couple-tastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? 16erella's fairy godmother said, Well, you can't. But have fun, 16erella. But I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And so, 16erella accepts the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Sexton-Coupling was wondering who he should marry. Sophia and Nina say all together, He's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 16erella. Prince Sexton-Coupling then asks, May I have this dance? Prince Sexton-Coupling responds, I would be delighted. 16erella and Prince Sexton-Coupling dance happily together. But later, 16erella realizes it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Sexton-Coupling was really worried that he might never see 16erella again. So he traveled all around Sexton-Cuplingham, to find her and brought the glass slippers with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where 16-year-old and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 16-year-old, a princess decoupling finds Sophia to Nina. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers?" Sophia is first, but her feet are too big. Isabella is next, but her feet are too small. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Princess Decopling notices 16-year-old's sweet singing. The glass slippers fit! 16-year-old gets so excited because she's happy to have Princess Decopling back, and they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Knows Everything, and buy our merchandise at andrewknowseverything.com. Take care! Bye! And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents 49erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 49erella. 49erella had 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalie, and Ella. All 9 of them constantly made fun of 49erella and made her do all the chores. 49er wench, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said them all together. One day, the king of 49ville's messenger arrives and says, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 49ville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Non-Quadragentupling." But 49erella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They are overjoyed. They ran with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who will Prince Not-a-Quadragentupling marry. Later, 49erella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Not-a-Quadragentupling. Whatever will I do? She went first. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 49erella. There, now, 49erella. I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you, she said. She then waves her magic wand. And because of that, 49erella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 49erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 49erella has 49 pumpkins and 98 mice. 49erella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 49 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 98 mice into horses, and the 49erella's brick clothes into a gown and crown. 49erella says, "I've never seen such a not-a-quadragentupling gown! And get a load of my glass slippers! Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough?" And climbs into the coach. 49erella's fairy godmother says, "Well, you can't, but have fun, 49erella, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will go back to normal." And so, 49erella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Not-a-Quadragentupling was wondering who he should marry. "Wondering who to marry, son?" asked the wise kind-hearted and bold King 49ville, to which Prince not a quadrupling responds, "Yes, father." "You're going to marry me, Prince not a quadrupling," said Farah, the oldest of 49erella's ugly, mean, wicked stepsister. "Farah, wrong. You're Prince not a quadrupling. You're going to marry me," said Olivia. "Both of you are wrong. Prince not a quadrupling. You're going to marry me," said Ramona. The rest say, "You're going to marry me, Prince not a quadrupling." But Prince not a quadrupling angrily denies the request. Suddenly, 49erella arrives at the ball just in time. Prince not a quadrupling sees her, walks straight towards her, and says, "You must be 49erella. May I please have this dance?" To which 49erella responds, "Yes, I would be happy to." And so 49erella and Prince not a quadrupling dance happily together. But later, 49erella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she ran so fast that she left one of her glass slippers behind. Prince not a quadrupling was really worried that he might never see her again. The king of 49ville comforts her by saying, There, no, son. I think we'll be able to find 49erella." And so, the next day, Prince not a quadrupling and the king of 49ville traveled all around 49ville and tried to find 49erella, who captured Prince not a quadrupling's heart and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knock on the door of the home where 49erella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 49erella, they find Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Prince not a quadrupling then says, "Ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers? Farah is first, but her foot is too big. Olivia's next, but her foot is too small." "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince not a quadrupling and the king of 49ville noticed 49erella's sweet singing. "Prince not a quadrupling and the king of 49ville, your majesty, is that you guys?" she hollered excitedly, to which the king of 49ville says, 49erella, my dear daughter-in-law, we found you. Will you marry Prince not a quadrupling? 49erella and Prince not a quadrupling are now married. They, along with the king of 49ville, lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And take care. Bye.